How's it going, guys? Brad here.
And Chris.
We're going to go over a short stretching video. What we're going to do in this one is just going to hit all of our major muscle groups. You know, maybe you're a little sore from some previous workouts, just got some tight muscles from sitting at a desk all day or otherwise. I'm going to have Chris demonstrate a lot of these. I'll kind of talk through them, and let's get started. The first thing I'm going to have Chris do, if you're familiar with yoga poses, he's going to get into child's pose. And we're going to work on our chest area. So his arms are going to go straight out in front of his head. What he's going to do is he's going to take an arm and he's going to slide it to the side, palm down. He's going to keep that arm straight and he's going to slowly rotate his body until he's leaning into that stretch. Where you're looking to feel this at is going to be right in here. And now he can kind of play with where his hand is to change where he feels that stretch at. But you're going to want to hold this for 15-30 seconds, feel the stretch. You want to be stretching enough to get some slight discomfort, but no pain. If you're feeling pain, back it off. Then he's going to switch arms and you're going to hit the other side. I would recommend cycling through both sides twice on just about every stretch that we do in this video, just to make sure that we're working out all those kinks, all those adhesions, any kind of tissue problems that we have. All right, Buzz, I'm going to have you go ahead and get up. All right, so we've got the chest done. Like I said, if you need to pause the video to finish those up, you're welcome to. The next thing we're going to do is have Chris stretch out his back, and we're going to focus mainly on the lats here. What I'm going to have Chris do is grab onto one of these cardio machines. If you're at home and you don't have anything like this to grab onto, you can use a doorway, a door handle on a closed door, something like that. But he's just going to grab it with an overhand grip. He's going to sit down into like a half squat, and he's just going to let his weight pull him backwards. And that stretch should be coming in here. And again, 15-30 seconds. He's going to sit back far enough to where he feels a little bit of discomfort but no pain. If you're not getting enough extension, you can do what Chris just did and drop a hand out. So that way you're just focusing on one side. This is really great for those tight backs if you've been sitting at the desk all day, kind of hunched over, or sitting straight up. Maybe you spend a lot of time in the car. Perfect. All right, we're going to move Chris back down to the floor. He's going to go back into child's pose. And we're going to work on those shoulders, more specifically our deltoids. So again, he's in child's pose. Now this time what he's going to do is he's going to take an arm and slide it underneath of him. Now that palm is going to be facing the sky. He's going to lower his chest down to the ground, and he's going to get a nice stretch right in here. And again, he can play with the height of his hand in terms of where it's at on his side to kind of change what fibers he's hitting. 15-30 seconds, get a stretch, and then pull it back out, switch, and he's going to do the other arm. And again, you can cycle through this once or twice. Now notice too what he's doing here at the hips. He's kind of rotating his upper body on his hips to get a little bit deeper into that stretch. Now we can't all be as flexible as Buzz, obviously. Very nice. Cool. All right, why don't you lay on your back and go feet towards the camera. Okay, so if you haven't noticed yet, we're slowly working our way down the body, starting at the top. Next thing we're going to do is the glutes. That's the big muscles right there on your backside. So what Buzz is going to do, he's going to lie flat. He's going to take one leg, lift it up and over his body, okay? Now you're going to try to keep that leg as straight as you can, but if you can't keep it completely straight, that's fine. You want it to go as high up as you can get it. Obviously, if it's uncomfortable and you're having to tense muscles to do that, then don't go so high, let it relax down. Let that foot make contact with the ground, and you're going to try to keep the arms out to the side and the shoulder blades flat on the ground. And you should be feeling it right there on that backside. Go ahead and give us a point, Chris. There you go, right in there. Again, 15-30 seconds, somewhere in there. Then relax, take the leg back, and then flip the other leg over top. Very nice. The big key here really is to try to keep that upper body as flat to the ground as you can. That may not always be possible, but do the best that you can. Just let the weight of the leg do the work in the stretch. Yeah, if you want, you can all, why don't you sit up and explain that? Because you do that more than I do.
I do. So one of the things I was just quietly whispering to Brad is, if you're having trouble bringing that leg around and you're feeling a stretch, but you'd like to feel a little deeper, but you can't quite keep the form that he was describing, is you can use a towel or a yoga strap, even an old necktie, tie it around your foot so that when you go to lay down, you can pull that leg with one of your hands to pull it up a little higher, really feel that stretch a little bit deeper.
Yes. Next one that we're going to do is just a simple hamstring stretch. Any of you that attended gym class in the 4th grade probably know what this is. But legs are just going to go out straight. Now, I'm a bit of a stickler on this. I don't like completely straight, flat legs. I like there to be just a little bit of bend in the knees. It just kind of helps save some of the muscles back there. But all Buzz is going to do is reach out, try to touch his toes, and you're looking to feel that stretch right back in here, right back in the back of the leg. 15, 20 seconds. If you can't make it all the way to the toes, not a big deal. Just go down as far as you can. And if this is not enough, I don't know that there's many of you out here that are super flexible where this is not enough of a stretch, but you can also just focus on one leg at a time if you'd like. Just like that. Perfect. The finger gun's capping. All right. We're going to hit the other side of the leg now. That's the quad. That's the top of the thigh area. The way I'm going to have Buzz do this is he's going to take his lower leg and tuck it back behind him as such. And then to stretch that quad out, he's just going to slowly let his weight go back. If you want to do this a little differently, roll over on your side for me and do the grab. You can also lay flat, grab the ankle, and just pull back if you'd like to. Again, kind of like what Buzz was talking about before. This is another situation where you can use a yoga strap or a band or something, wrap around your foot, and he can pull it if he'd like. But either way works. I've said it 1,000 times, but 15 to 30 seconds. Perfect. All right, again, if we're getting too fast here, our goal here is just to kind of show you these exercises. If you need to, you can hit pause and go through at your own pace. But we don't want to waste a ton of time just having you watch Chris stretch here. So the next one that we're going to do is a hip stretch. Now this is very important. A lot of people forget that there's muscles and soft tissue in our hips that will become tight, especially if you're somebody that has a desk job and you're doing most of your work throughout the day seated. Those muscles can get really tight and they can cause a lot of issues. So what we'll have Buzz do is lay flat. He's going to take one of his feet, put it on top of the knee of the other leg. He's going to take his hands and he's going to reach through the hole that he's made with his legs and then around the outside of the leg with the other hand. So he's grabbing it as such. And all he's going to do is pull this leg back. So what he's stretching is going to be right here on the inside of the hip. And if you're hypermobile, or if you're just looser than other people and this is not enough for you, you can let that leg relax to the ground and then just focus on either grabbing the foot or grabbing the lower leg as a whole and pulling that ankle towards your face. Again, 15, 30 seconds, switch it up, show on the other side, Buzz. This is how to do it using the leg, show them the advanced way. As such. So one quick note before we move into the next thing I want to talk about is knee pain. Buzz can attest to how many people we see on a daily basis that want to talk about how bad their knees hurt. And I can't tell you how many people have issues with knee pain because of tight musculature in the lower body. Either tight hamstrings, tight quads, tight hips. And the reason it's an issue is because the way the muscles connect, what they're going to do is they're going to pull those joints down tighter and tighter So they're just kind of sitting there grinding on each other. If you do stretches like this throughout the day, give yourself a week and really, really push yourself. Focus on making progress and how flexible you are. I promise you that things like knee pain, hip pain will get better. I'm not saying they're going to go away, but they will get better. At least 90% of the people that I see, they come to me and say, my knees are hurting. It's an issue to do with tightness, especially, again, not to pick on people that have desk jobs, but you're sitting there all day with very short muscles in your posterior chain. That's the hamstrings, it's the glutes, it's the low back, because if I'm sitting at a desk, this hamstring is not lengthened, right? So it gets used to being this size, and then when I get up from my desk and it's got to lengthen out to a standing position, now all of a sudden I'm getting tightness, I'm getting pulling, and I'm getting knee pain. So, all right, the last one I want to do, again, is another one that most people are probably familiar with. It's just a simple groin stretch, or the butterfly. So the feet are going to be together. The key with this exercise, so that you don't mess it up, is not necessarily how close you pull the feet in, it's how far down you push the knees. So go back to where you were. So this is what I see a lot of people do, and this is, I'm sure, what Buzz sees a lot of people do, is they just try to pull their feet back as close as they can to their body. We don't want to do that because there's not any stretch there. I'd rather see you drive these knees downward, and sometimes you can use your elbows to do that also. But what we want to see is that leg try to get as flat to the floor as we can. So hold this one for 15, 30 seconds. Then instead of just complete relaxing, what I want you to do is push your feet out a little bit. And now we'll see Buzz take his upper body and sink it down a little bit. And this becomes a really nice stretch for your low back. Then once he sits here for that 15, 30 seconds, he'll relax completely and he'll restart that cycle again. Very nice.
Very relaxed.
Awesome. All right, well, thank you guys for joining us. I hope this was helpful. I know this is a short video, but we can't overstate the importance of flexibility enough. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. As always, hit that like button if you appreciate what we brought to you, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.